So let me see, the schedule, I check people in. Is that what we do? And then we go around. I mean, we do a little bit of grounding and then go around and check in. You're muted.
Yeah, set the circle first,
Okay.
and then we'll place ourselves in the circle, and then you do whatever you do.
Okay. All right. So if everyone can just take a moment to close your eyes and breathe calmly into the space and place in which you sit. To just anchor in, realizing that we are completely protected by guardian circles. That our energy unites and makes us more powerful when we are together. Calling in our teams to work with us, guide us, lead us. Giving them permission to be here in full force. And with gratitude, we can begin. So to check in, offering, I guess, where you're from and a little bit of tidbit about what's happening in your life that you'd like to share. And then we'll start our journey. I'll start. My name is Cinda. I live south of Portland, Oregon. And I've been really tired and just trying to figure out what to do. I was talking to Kelly today on the phone. She goes, "You sound really tired." And I go, "Well, it's 11:30 and I'm still in my pajamas, sitting on my bed." But I guess I would like to share, because maybe by sharing and saying it out loud, more of it will come my way. But I am a writer of inspiration when I'm inspired. And it's very hard for me to write in a disciplined manner. And yesterday I was inspired and I wrote another chapter of one of my stories I've been working on. And I am so excited at the thought of writing again. So, okay, so I'll talk to Audrey, another fellow writer.
Hi, yes, Audrey from West Wyoming, Pennsylvania, and the book is done. So it's just a matter of getting it out there and picking a date, and super excited, super excited, and yeah, it's time and I'm ready. So for the circle, I bring courage, and I tag Sue.
Thank you, Audrey. I am Sue. I'm from Issaquah, Washington. It's just the low 80s today, very manageable. I've been busy with family a lot, and I've been really tired. I think it's because I've been having such a good time with family. So it feels like it's time for another change. So accepting change is what I'm bringing to accepting change with grace. And I'll call on Arlie.
Good morning, I'm Arlie. I'm in Eastbourne, New Zealand, just across the harbor from Wellington. What's happening here? You know, we're at that point in the season when we're just turning the corner and you know that spring is in the air. And I am really enjoying all the little signs, like I have a daffodil that's in bloom that makes me inordinately happy. And 2 of my chickens have gone broody, which doesn't make me happy, but is a sign of spring. And I've also discovered that I'm extremely risk adverse when it comes to range anxiety and my electric car, having had a experience in it that made me anxious and upset. So we've bought a new car. It's a new experience for me. It's not a car I wanted or really anticipate enjoying. which I hate being saddled with things, but that's where I am, and spring is coming. So we're going to forget the damn car and get on to spring. So, and in that, I will call on Kelly.
Carly, do you want to bring in something into the circle?
Oh, I want to bring in the anticipation and joy of spring, all that happiness and blooming and growth, and yeah, the good things that, good growth that spring brings.
Yeah, thank you.
Kelly here in Portland, Oregon. So much I want to bring in. I have to choose. That's tough today. There's so much of what everybody has said that I want to just piggyback on. I think I want to embrace the aspect of change, and that comes with the changing season. And I'm feeling and desiring winter so much. I want winter back, fall. And with that, embracing the change of this next iteration that's being shown to me of my life's unfolding, but while embracing that, also recognizing that I've been experiencing a lot of human stuff that I don't like necessarily the way I'm not necessarily behaving. It's not that I'm behaving poorly, but there's these things that are popping up that I'm not necessarily proud of, that I could do better with, I should say, that I could soften the edges, shift the delivery, and not be a control freak. So with that, that's what I want to bring in this space. And Emma, you've not gone yet. Miss Emma.
I'm Emma in Williamstown, Massachusetts, 0.9 miles from where I used to live. The move on the whole was relatively easy until yesterday. I'm so grateful that I asked for support, because I think that it did help to ease the injury. When I actually never heard the body joint pop out loud. But I lived upstairs in a very, very steep, very narrow steps, and going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And yesterday, my knee popped on the way down. And so, being me, I continued to move downstairs, put things in the car, and then creeped back upstairs. But then I have these wonderful friends who came, and my downstairs neighbors picked up all of my heavy, heavy boxes and put them in my car. And my friends who live over an hour away came, and they got my mattress and my bed, and everybody moved everything into the apartment. And I have been doing integrated protocol of, healing the knee on almost every level, and it is significantly better. And so, I guess out of that, I want to bring in trust into the circle. Trust that I don't have to do it by myself, whatever it is. Trust that other people will show up for me. And trust that healing can really happen much more quickly than we think. So that's where I am. And Sharon, have you gone yet?
Let's see. Sharon Raji here on Woodby Island, and tired. Tired is the name of the game for me lately. I realize I've scheduled all my different things on my calendar on my day and with alarms, because there's lots going on, and I didn't put in nap time. So I'm going to put that in, nap time, how I can get through the day. And there's a lot of things going on. So I think appreciation for being with others who are deeply committed, just being authentic and loving and present. That's me. Sue, did we hear from you? Okay.
All right, thank you. So today's my day to lead and guide, and but I wrote down what everyone said so we could sit and hold space for those words, emotions, doings. The first being inspired, inspiration, courage, accepting change with grace, anticipation of spring and all that comes with that, change and doing better, trust and appreciation. And then I think I want to add in peaceful rest because so many of us have expressed how tired we are. So one of the things that I'd really like to do is a repeat of what I did last time I guided the session, with a little bit of a change in it. But in honor of, I've launched 2 weeks ago, I launched my 7 days of grace. And with that comes 7 rituals over 7 days, prepping ourselves to become these vessels for grace on the planet to help counterbalance any of the turmoil that we might see and feel and experience in the upcoming years. And being so grateful for the teachings that Sharon has taught us, that when we see stuff that we know is unacceptable, to call it out, clear it, and then on the other end of that, to bring in the healing energy of grace. So what I would like to do today, if people are open for it, and I especially appreciate people to do it in their own way that feels comfortable to them, like Arlie, what you saw last week with your beautiful ball of opalescent energy that you shared with all of us, that was extraordinary. I'm hoping that in today's meditation and in today's travel, we'll experience moments of profound beauty and healing of self and others. So where I'd like to begin is just quickly with a story where I was shown in one of my time travel meditations. I was taken up into the galaxy and I met this extraordinary energy that was bigger than life and very feminine in nature, and her arms, if you can call them arms, were stretched, and flowing from them was this opalescent blanket. And she could move her arm and this blanket would calm, soothe, heal. It was extraordinary. So in my healing practices, I have been wrapping people, wrapping the earth, covering the fires with Grace's opalescent blanket to help calm, ease, bring peace, cool, put out any fires, for example. I've also been using this energy and putting it into the elements. Those of you that know me know that I bless the water every morning in the shower, and I have now been asking the water to separate and multiply and to infuse the molecules of water with Grace herself. So when it rains, it's touching multiple people, as well as blowing her energy on the wind and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so today, another vision that I was shown in one of the time travel sessions when I was brought up to see Grace again. I was feeling really discouraged about a lot of stuff that was happening and in the world around me and not knowing what to do. And I asked Grace, what do I do? What do I do? And she told me, ask and you shall receive. All right. Well, we've all heard that before. But it was just so simple. She's like, you know, just ask and you shall receive. And so I said, well, all right, I asked to help that person. And I pointed down at the earth, and she opened up those magnificent arms. And under those arms were a legion of angels, a legion of angels. It just went on forever. And so when I pointed at one person, I saw an opalescent being fly down to that person, placing a hand on his or her back, a hand on the front, and a healing done to that person. So I started to point and point and point, and angels flew everywhere. It was that simple. So like we did last time I led, I'd like to guide people through being pulled up into the galaxy, whether you to meet Grace, to meet her legion of angels, and then to understand that all you have to do is ask and you will receive, and then to see where your guides take you. Do they take you to the past to heal old wounds, people you have met, situations, events in your life to heal? Will it take you to past lives? Will it take you in the present moment to heal those around you that are suffering, or will it take you into the future? So I'll guide you, and then I'll release you, and we'll all go our own ways, and then just share this energy of healing with wherever your guides take you. Then you take Grace with you and point and ask for her healing. Heal the earth, heal the elements, wherever you're guided. Does that sound okay to people? Does that? Okay. All right, so I will guide you. You can turn your videos off if you prefer. So sitting here in your space and in your place, breathing at a rate that is comfortable for you. Calling in your etheric invisible team that loves you, has been working with you, supports you throughout times. And as you breathe, take your energy and have it travel up and down your spine. As a breath in, have it travel up, and as a breath it down, up and down. Feel the energy travel up and down your spine as you breathe at a rate that is comfortable for you. Up and down, loosening any blocks, getting that energy moving up and down your spine. Tailbone to the top of your head, down to the tailbone to the top of your head. And now with one of your breaths, as you travel that energy up, now take this energy out through the top of your head. And with every breath, expand it up even higher, 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 until you feel your form free, the essence of who you are, free, up, higher, breathing higher, until you're in the glorious galaxy of all that is. And you see and feel the essence of this divine feminine being. Her energy is so magnificent, so expansive. There she is. Her love for you is so pure, so real. The divineness in her brings awe to your essence. It feeds you and you expand. She stretches out her arms, and below those arms you see hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of angels. And Grace looks at you and she says, these are yours. These are for you. All you need to do is ask and you shall receive. So take a few moments breathing in and out, asking your team, where should we take these angels? Where is the healing needed? Guide me, show me, take me. And then as you travel, guide one of her mighty, beautiful angels to heal that event, that situation, that person, you. So take the time to do that over and over and over again. And then come back when you're done. Welcome back. So as I was turned off my video and I was sort of in a trance, but I looked out the window. I'm up on the second floor of my house, and there was, I don't know what they were. I don't know if they were white butterflies or if they were dragonflies or if they were puffballs. There's like 20 of them just floating through the sky over my neighbor's house. And I thought, oh my God, this is so perfect. It was like a visualization of the work that I was doing in my head. So that was incredible. Would anyone like to share? Kelly, can you go?
But yes, I'd love to. So first of all, just an extraordinarily grounding space, which is unusual for me to be in quite often, in a grounded space. So that was just lovely. And really what I was shown is just this immense amount of grace and energy around middle-aged women that are that just this embracing of this shift that we go through in our bodies and our, all this stuff that I'm experiencing. And I just felt this immense amount of just compassion for that experience of this iteration, whatever this iteration is and whatever step it goes to. And so they showed me the whole step, and it was just a beautiful cycle of dust. They showed me the physicality of it, but then they showed me the totality of it, right? They showed me the physical piece. And so it was just lovely. It was like, oh yeah, okay, so yeah, here we are. Just be, because you're dust anyway. So it was just this lovely spiral of colors and love, and that's the cosmic sands of who we are from dust to dust. So it was just a lovely, reassuring, get out of your head, Kelly type of experience. So most very appreciative, because it's been a tender space for me lately. So thanking you for that. And Sue, I'll tag you.
Thank you, Kelly. And thank you, Cinda. That was a beautiful lead in to an amazing meditation. What I saw was the best I can do as a human being is be reasonable. And when I crossed over the line from my head to my heart, then the cosmic, infinite experience beyond words opens up. And it is in the moment. It's everything you said, Cinda. And that is like the tip of the iceberg. It can only be experienced. It's really hard to put it into words. And we get there through our hearts. And when we say, when I think to myself, the frustration of being irritable, jealous, selfish, dissatisfied, those are all the things that are human. And as long as I'm in my head, I am human, very, very human. And when I can move from my head to my heart, all of those things disappear and grace moves in and it takes over. And it's a whole other reality of infinite possibilities. And healing becomes very simple. And it's not fixing someone, it's bringing them to a different awareness where they have a new choice or new choices. And that state of grace has many levels to it. And I'm happy with just being in that state of joy that's compassionate and loving and caring and forgiving and all things wonderful. And it's like that spiritual being is just putting something into a form so we can understand it, but it's so much more than a form. And it's just magnificent. And that's who our higher self is. It's absolutely magnificent. So I could have just stayed there for the rest of the day. But I'm back. Emma, would you like to go next?
Sure, thank you. It's lovely. Sue. I was struck by Cinda saying, ask and it is given. And so I thought that I would start with asking for healing grace for myself, because they showed me a little being in an airplane seat and having the oxygen mask fall down. I was like, all right, fine. And then I started to just kind of call in a couple of angels and point them at different people, at my mom, because I know she's suffering. My sister's ex-husband, who's in his late 50s, was recently diagnosed with leukemia, and he's gone downhill very, very quickly. And so I asked for the grace of the healing that his soul requires. It's not for me to say one way or the other. And for, their son and my sister, who is being incredibly generous as his caretaker because he has no one else. And then after being kind of pointing it to different people, I just had them scoop up the smoke all across the country and then further across the ocean, because they know that it's all interconnected. And then just soothing wildfires all over the West. And basically ask them to seek out and deep six all of those who are instigating and enhancing the fires. And that's where I ended, just soothing it all. Complete. I will call on Audrey.
Oh, such peace. Such peace. Such stillness. I asked for grace for my children and for my son who's having issues with his dad, that the rift be healed. I also asked for grace from everyone who has undergone abuse, and also for anyone who has had issues within organized religion, to heal the hurts. I also asked for grace to come in and release what I might not be cognizant of in my space. And I saw a man's face, and I can't recognize him, but I asked that to be taken in deep sixth. And yeah, just a great sense of peace. I am complete. Arlie, would you like to go next?
Oh, this was different. Thanks, Cinda. I started out thinking that I was in control here because Cinda said, these are your angels. You just go and take these angels. And that turned out to be one great big laugh. So, of course, I've been working on healing my husband. And one of the things that I've been doing is going back to the villages a la Sharon's teachings. And I thought, and on Facebook recently, maybe you've all seen it, there's been this meme about ancestral mathematics. And it takes 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great grandparents. And have you guys seen that one? Okay. I worked it out to 30 generations, and it comes out to over 1 billion people. And I thought, wahoo, I'm going to put my hand on this paper. I'm going to bring these angels in. I'm going to heal back a la Sharon's Rianne protocol with the angels boosting it to all these people and bringing that kind of healing too, as well as the kind where we go back and pump up their discernment and all that. Not so much. I did not get the feeling of connection that I had expected to get. So I thought, okay, fine. I'm still going to leave this energy here. And on my way back, I saw the 5 new levels below that Sharon has been talking about. And that's where the angels wanted to be. So I took some of the angelic energy, that the idea is that there's tortured souls below, super tender, need a protective space to even bring them up, cannot be released to their families because they are damaged. Do I have this right so far, Sharon?
Pretty correct, Arlie.
Okay, so in my mind, when I've seen this work before, they've gone off up and to the left. So I sent grace energy to each of those souls and particles. And then I sent grace energy with the SRR team, who was still bringing up these damaged members of our families, galactic families. And there's a hope for healing. I felt that there was a hope for healing. So I gave some energy to the RSS teams, and they were like, yeah, that's really nice. And they didn't need it. So then I'm still interested in working on my husband. That's what I want. I want him out of the pain that he's in. So I brought this healing energy to Richard, and I tried to surround him. I tried the arm hug visualization, Cinda, that you had mentioned in your guide. I mentioned, and I didn't feel the connection. So I thought, well, maybe if I run the energy through me and give him a hug. Nope, didn't feel that either. So I sat with it for a minute and moved on. And then Ezra, my grandson, popped into my head. And I was led to believe that the healing needs to start with Ezra and shoot up through our family. And at that point, Ezra lit up, and his mother lit up, and all the way up the family tree and through Richard and up and on, and maybe the 30 generations back. I don't know. But that's where it ended for me. And it was absolutely beautiful. And I also made a connection to the grace energy that I can just kind of plug into, which I hope sticks around after this class. So I am complete. Sharon, have you gone? Okay.
Yes, always great to have our opportunity to work with Grace. In the last couple of months, what's been brought to me is some very severely damaged individuals. And so that's what, what is it that I need to learn? What do I need to do? What we haven't known before, et cetera, has been, it's been a program, of learning and applying new things and learning new things, because these individuals are really, they're not bad. They've taken on a lot, and in that lot, there's a lot of damage. And so that, that's my focus every day in some way, to do an integrated thing on them. And so that they were the ones that I was drawn to bring grace into. And what I heard was, they are now ready for grace. They weren't ready before. They are now ready for grace. And so there were things that needed to be done, learnings that needed to happen, applications that needed to be done. So to be able to bring that energy of grace into each one of those was really great to say, okay, there is a process here, and sometimes the process requires this before that, and then this before that. So I was glad to be able to do that. And I'm back to you, Cinda.
Well, thank you, everybody. That's so beautiful. Yeah, when I saw the little white things floating above my neighbor's house, and I thought I would just see where my guides took me, and they took me to some dear friends who we sort of had a fallout. And so I brought Grace to that family unit and wished them well, and then loved them gone. And then I traveled back in time, and I healed my family from me, from my own little psychosis, in case there was any damage done when I was going through my own PTSD. And then I found myself just going back in time, healing the greats that we know historically, just healing them, honoring them, keeping their teachings sacred and pure. And then I traveled forward into the future. I traveled back to the present, helped heal my own children and their significant others. Anyway, I mean, I just was like, whatever popped up in my sphere, in my existence, I just asked for grace to touch them, heal them, honor them, love them. And yeah, so yeah, it's interesting because I started this so tired, and now I actually feel like there's this new energy that I have, and it's peace, like Audrey said. There's just a lot of peace. So thank you. Thank you very much for participating and trusting me with this. You guys can take yourself off mute, and if you want to say anything else or comment or share or talk or.
Just lots of thanks and gratitude, Cinda, for the holding that you have been doing for grace, and bringing that back and holding it. And so thank you for hosting today.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that you each had your own interpretation of working with this divine feminine energy and how it can support you and what you're doing. So, like Emma said, starting with self first and then taking it out, and then this image of infusing grace, Arlie, into the purity of a young one, that then that energy could travel up through the generations. How extraordinary.
Well, I have the feeling that you got me started, and as soon as we close, I can't hardly stay awake. I mean, I am fighting staying awake. And so I haven't even, you got me to a place
And now I'm going to do my work.
Go take a nap and travel and see where it takes you. You have to share the next time we're together.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's often where the best work is done, isn't it? I love my cat naps. When I'm ready to nap, I'm like, okay, show me what you need to show me.
Mhm.
It's magical, those moments. Not that this isn't, this is magical, but I mean, those moments are like, oh, darn.
Audrey, did you want to say something? You took yourself off.
I did. I love that saying that you said. I love them gone. I love that.
Well, that story came up when my son fell madly in love with a young Mormon girl, and we loved her so much. And she went on her mission and came back, and we knew this would be the end of their relationship because he wasn't willing to convert. And so they had one final, he came home from college, she came home from her mission. They had one last gathering, formal goodbye, if you will. He came home. He was, 20 years old, maybe. And in the dark, he sat on our floor and just said, I don't know what to do. This is so painful. This is so painful. And so my grown son crawled into bed with us and we held him. And then the next day I took him for a walk through the trails of this arboretum that Portland has through downtown Portland. There's this giant park. And we were walking and he said, I can't hate her. I wish she had done something where I could be so angry at her that I could get rid of this because I love her and I don't hate her, but there's no future for us. I don't know what to do with this. And I just listened and I said, baby boy, you just gotta love her gone. Love her gone. And he realized, he goes, oh my God, I can do that. I can do that. I can love her gone, because that is just what you do. If you love the people, but there is no future, there's no opportunity for the relationship to shift or change, and no one's done anything wrong, or even if they have, but you've forgiven them, but yet you still are so deeply in love or in care, you just love them gone. And that is your protection, if you will. You just love them gone. And when you push it out, I sort of visualize our etheric bodies and you push it out. And when your energy reaches your bubble, they're gone. They've left. They're no longer a part of you. Your memories will still be fond of them. But with that, then you have the freedom to move on. And I brought it once into time travel, Sharon. Do you want to pick that up? I think what Carol did with it, they took it to the next level.
Actually, the thing I remember about it wasn't in time travel, Cinda. It was in Women Remaking the World.
Right.
And there was a decision that had to be made. And how do you handle some of the difficult decisions with love? And we understood that there's always that interfering energy that called parasitic, and that had to be moved on. And so we used both love them gone in relationship to the parasitic, because it's a loving thing to do, to have a PTO move them home, love them gone. And then we added to that, love them whole, those who had been damaged. So that's how we used it in a place where there's a little bit more conflict, to love the cause of the conflict gone, and then bringing the teams to love those who had been hurt, damaged, to love them whole.
Yeah.
Wow, powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Wow. Wow.
It was a very tender, beautiful moment I shared with my son. And with that now is a piece of profound wisdom that I share with others now. I mean, I've never heard of it except for the moment that I said it out loud to him. And it's such a beautiful solution for many. So, any other comments? All right, well, with that, I say thank you so much. Love you. Unmute so I can hear your voices as you.
Thank you, Cinda.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Cinda. Thank
Always
you,
wonderful.
everybody, for showing up.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
See you in a
Bye.
week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.